Just ahead on CTV News.
Governor Wes Moore delivered his fourth State of the State address today. I'm Jonathan Hunter. I have more coming up.
And
a voting rights advocacy group are championing 2 bills this legislative session. I'm Katara Jones. I'll tell you what those bills are coming up on CTV News.
plus, the first HBCU in the state, Bowie State University, is commemorating Black History Month with a special ceremony.
And the key to everything is to be proactive, not reactive.
These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, February 11th. I'm Anaya Falcon.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, Governor Wes Moore delivered his fourth State of the State address today, and he talked about a wide range of issues from crime, the economy, and rising energy costs.
CTV's Jonathan Hunter was in Annapolis and has the story.
The governor's State of the State address lasted for about an hour. There were moments of laughter and applause. The governor believes Maryland is on the right direction.
As the governor walked in, it was a standing ovation in the House chamber. The governor made it clear that he wanted to fight on behalf of everyone in the state.
That we would fight for the family that was struggling to get by. We'd fight for the worker who deserves a raise and a fair wage for their labor.
Toward the beginning of his speech, he highlighted the governor's redistricting commission. Moore has led the effort to redraw Maryland's congressional districts. The new map passed in the House, but is currently stalled in the Senate. The governor acknowledged there is opposition to the measure from both parties, but believes it's important to have a robust debate.
So my ask is simple. Do not let the democratic process die in the free state. Debate it, discuss it, make adjustments if necessary, and put it to a vote.
The governor also criticized the federal government multiple times during his speech. He was upset that 25,000 federal workers in Maryland lost their jobs.
Our neighbors, our friends, our family. It's the biggest federal job cut of any state in the country.
The governor was also pleased with the reduction in crime. Maryland has seen a 50% reduction in homicides since 2021.
And we are delivering historic drops in crime in every single corner of the state. And in fact, the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore, I was not born yet.
Moore mentioned that a major concern for many Marylanders is the rising cost of energy, which is a nationwide issue. He made a plea for PJM to cap the price of energy for 2 years.
And to all Marylanders who are concerned about skyrocketing energy prices, I'm here to say with a loud and a collective voice, we hear you. And help is on the way.
And to ease the pain for people living in the state, the governor's proposed budget does not call for any tax or fee increases.
The governor says they are investing $4 million in AI training because he believes AI is the way of the future. In Annapolis, I'm Jonathan Hunter for CTV News.
Thanks, Jonathan. Senate Republicans criticized the governor's address today for failing to address the high cost of living and the $1.4 billion budget deficit. Republicans have also been very critical of the governor's redistricting efforts, claiming the new map is gerrymandering.
Meanwhile, at a press conference yesterday, Maryland House Speaker Jocelyn Pena-Milnick, alongside her leadership team, addressed legislative priorities, including legislation that would ban 287G agreements. The bill has already passed the House. The team also provided an update on Maryland's budget, acknowledging lawmakers' commitment to funding child care scholarships. The House Speaker confirmed lawmakers are continuing to support the redistricting bill that has already passed in the House, although it has gotten pushback from Senate President Bill Ferguson.
I have spoken with the Senate president, right, and I have been very respectful, and my hope and prayers is that they pass the bills. Like any bills that we pass here, there are two houses. So we did the homework really well. I think that we presented a great case on the floor why this is important, and my hope is that they do the same.
As Marylanders head to the voting booth this summer to cast a ballot in the upcoming primary election,
state lawmakers and an advocacy group are working to ensure that voter protection laws are in place. CTV's Katera Jones is in Annapolis with the details.
That's right, two bills, HB 219 and HB 350, are making their way through the Maryland legislature, and supporters say the bills will protect the voting rights of all Marylanders.
We know that democracy only stays healthy when you're protecting and pruning it all along.
The advocacy group ACLU Maryland is throwing their support behind the Maryland Voting Rights Act. House Bill 219, which is a part of the act, would prohibit intimidation, deception, obstruction, and suppression at Maryland polling locations. Delegate Stephanie Smith of Baltimore City says the bill needs to be passed before the next election.
But we don't have a legal cause of action in Maryland for someone to sue for a remedy should they face that intimidation or harassment at the polls. And so that's what's really important. If people feel like they can freely do this without really penalty or anything happening, then who's going to stand up and protect people who could face this type of intimidation and harassment at the poll?
House Bill 350 is also a part of the Maryland Voting Rights Act. The piece of legislation would prevent municipalities and counties from diluting the voting rights of residents, particularly people of color, people with disabilities, and immigrants.
Also has in the bill that the Attorney General can sue that municipality or that seat. And why this is so important, at the federal level you sue, it costs you thousands of dollars. This way, the Attorney General can do that. It won't cost the person who's complaining. We know that something's happened in Wicomico County in the last 5 years. We also have gotten calls from those in Fredericksburg, which is also on the Eastern Shore.
Delegate Wims also says if the Supreme Court does move forward and gets part of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Maryland would have its own voter protection laws on the books if the Maryland Voting Rights Act is passed. Katera Jones, CTV News.
The Maryland Voting Rights Act has been labeled as emergency bills. A hearing on the House version of the bills took place this afternoon.
And in other news, one person is injured after a multiple car crash on the Beltway this morning. Officers arrived on the scene around 5 a.m. and saw multiple cars piled up. One person was harmed, and we don't know the severity of their injuries at this time. Multiple lanes were blocked, backing up traffic for as far as 4 miles. Lanes weren't reopened until 7 a.m. We will keep you updated as more information becomes available.
And Prince George's County Police are investigating a fatal shooting that took place in Hyattsville last night. Officers arrived at the 3300 block of 52nd Avenue around 11. One victim, an adult male, was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Investigators are working to find a suspect and motive in this case. Anyone with any information is asked to call 1-866-411-TIPS.
And a Prince George's County Council member is introducing new legislation aimed at removing barriers when families report a loved one missing. Councilwoman Juanica Fisher introduced Dakara Rose's Law yesterday, which honors 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, who was reported missing and found dead in August of last year. The bill would make it law that there is no wait time to file a missing person report in Prince George's County, and expand education and resources for families, including help with flyers and search efforts throughout the health department. Sheriff John Carr says this bill will be beneficial for both the community and law enforcement.
The Dakara Rose Law would help us educate our citizens, and I think that's the biggest thing. Many people don't know that there is no wait times in order to report somebody missing. When we talk about the education portion, when somebody goes missing, do our citizens really know exactly what they can do, what resources they have available to them? I think that the County Council is moving in the right direction to actually provide additional resources in order to let our citizens know what to do, and then also work hand in hand with us.
And Council Chair Crystal Oriatha says she is going to fast track this bill, and it could go up for a vote as soon as March.
A Maryland lawmaker wants to make it easier to know who to call and when. Delegate Leslie Lopez is pushing for a statewide 311 system for non-emergency calls, saying nearly 80% of 911 calls aren't emergencies. The proposal would roll out AI chat and voice bots in phases across all 24 jurisdictions, aiming to ease pressure on dispatchers and modernize public service access. Supporters call it a public safety and equity measure, though some counties want the option to opt out. You're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Anaya Falcon. Still to come, the University of Maryland is in hot water for negotiating practices.
That's right. After the break, find out which laws they're accused of violating and how it affects university staff. We'll be right back.
I wish people knew that when you live in a small town like mine, it's much harder to find friends with common interests, especially ones my age. I often feel really alone.
Same here. Seems like every time we finally settle somewhere, I have to pack up and move again. By the time I make a friend, a real friend, I have to say goodbye to them.
I totally get it. I live in a big city, but it can feel just as lonely. It's tough, but it gets easier.
Honestly, I totally get what you're going through. It's nice to know that you feel the same.
You enjoyed my story. I really enjoyed your story as well.
Everyone likes rooting for their favorite team with some friends. But if you plan on drinking, don't drive. Designate a sober driver or schedule a rideshare for a safe ride home. Be the make a plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives.
Welcome back. Within the past week, students across the county have been holding anti-ICE protests. Last Friday, Academy of Health Science students at Prince George's Community College walked out of class and gathered at the courtyard with signs while chanting, "Say it once, say it twice, we will not put up with ICE." And on Monday, students at Northwestern High School took the same approach by storming through the bus parking lot. 37% of the Northwestern student body is comprised of multilingual learners, and they have 1,750 Hispanic students enrolled.
The Maryland Public Employee Relations Board has ruled that the University of Maryland violated state labor laws while negotiating with a campus union. According to the Diamondback AFSCME Local 1072, which represents more than 3,400 workers, filed unfair labor charges after the university allegedly refused to provide telework data and made policy changes during negotiations. The board found the university failed to bargain in good faith. Union leaders call the decision a victory for fairness and equity, though a final telework agreement has not yet been reached.
And a bill aimed at cracking down on illegal sidewalk and right-of-way vending was presented Tuesday during a county council session. Sponsored by Councilwoman Juanica Fisher, the legislation would strengthen enforcement by allowing for the immediate removal of goods when vendors fail to comply with county rules. It would also increase penalties for those operating without proper authorization.
There's actual places in the county where you're sanctioned to sell on the street. Right now, when you see people selling in the street, it's not sanctioned. So if you're buying food or anything else, like the health department didn't look at that. There's no permitting. So we want to support our communities. We don't want to hurt anyone in doing it, but we want to make sure we do things the right way.
And supporters say the measure is designed to address safety and quality of life concerns while protecting legitimate businesses.
And the county is continuing to invest in the next generation of tech leaders with a new innovation hackathon. The all-day event, in collaboration with County Executive Aisha Braveboy's office, was hosted by Prince George's Community College and local tech firm Cloudforce. More than 120 participants registered, including students throughout Prince George's County, competing across 4 innovation tracks.
We have 4 tracks. One of the tracks was a county-based solution track. The next track was a cyber track, and then we gave them the opportunity for a general idea. We have students who are creating apps around immigration. We also have students who are creating apps around community engagement as well. So that's the type of thing that they're building. And each team gets to decide what their vision is. They're working together. Some of them met for the first time today, and then they're bringing their ideas together.
And this isn't the last event. The Office of Information Technology plans on hosting future events at other county colleges.
And Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown is urging Congress to pass the Senate version of the Kids Online Safety Act. The legislation is a bipartisan bill designed to protect children from online harm. Brown joined 39 other attorneys general in calling on lawmakers to approve the measure, saying it will require tech companies to take stronger steps to protect minors from harmful content and addictive features. Supporters say the bill would also preserve states' ability to enforce their online safety laws for children.
W-2s, deductions, and withholdings. That's right, it's tax season. And Maryland residents have until April 15th to file individual tax returns for the 2025 tax year. Maryland taxpayers can file their state return through the Maryland Tax Connect portal. But the big question everyone wants to know, how quickly can I get my tax return? Well, if filing electronically, it can take about 4 weeks. If mailing out a paper return, it could take about 12 weeks, and 15 or more if additional review or certifications are required.
And the nation's job market just got a huge boost with 130,000 jobs being added last month. Healthcare positions accounted for more than 60% of those new jobs, and factories added 5,000. The Labor Department reports that the unemployment rate fell to 4.3%. Average hourly wages also increased by 0.4%. This all comes after a year of layoffs from multiple companies, high interest rates, and uncertainty from the residents' recent trade policies. And still to come on CTV News.
The first historically black college in the state held a special event today celebrating Black History Month.
Bowie State University continues its Century of Black commemorations here during spring convocation, where Attorney Benjamin Crump gave a powerful speech right here. I'll have that story coming up on CTV News.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Bowie State University continues their celebration of Black history under the theme of a Century of Black History commemorations.
That's right. Earlier this morning, the DMV's oldest HBCU held its spring convocation with a powerful keynote speaker. Our Brandon Williams has more on that story.
Bowie State's theme of a Century of Black History commemorations continued today with spring convocation, a time to reflect and look ahead to the future.
The moment is now. Now is the time to explore your passions. Now is the time to discover your purpose.
As Bowie State celebrates its 161st anniversary, President Dr. Aminta Bro is charging students to take action.
We want our students to embrace that title, Boldly Forward. It's more than words. It means that each day we get up and we march forward to make an impact.
To be sure the students got the message, she called one of the most vocal leaders of our time.
We have to use this great Bowie State education.
National Civil Rights Attorney Benjamin Crump.
for all that he's done to lead the way, advocating for those who have been, challenged and impacted by injustice in our society. To have him here to deliver it, I don't think the committee could have made a better choice.
Crump tells me the voices and minds of HBCU students are the key to protecting our future.
It is imperative that we use not only our intellect, but our courage to speak truth to power. Being able to make the American promise of liberty and justice all real for all Americans, especially black and brown people, are these young, brilliant minds that are being cultivated by Bowie State University.
Students say Crump's message of an upstream mentality in helping others has motivated them to keep making a difference.
I am blessed, and I can say on behalf of Bowie State students that we are glad to hear the words of Benjamin Crump. Take his words with heed, and don't wait too late to intervene in the situation. We must be proactive, as Attorney Benjamin Crump stated before in his speech, and I think just Bowie forward, we just must remain proactive in what we do for the community.
I think the best way to sum all of that up is in the words of the great Nipsey Hussle: the marathon continues. In Bowie, Brandon Williams, CTV News.
And if you want to see the full lineup of events happening at BSU this month, head over to bowiestate.edu/Black History Month.
And now it's time for our Black History Month Spotlight. If you've ever been to a county council meeting or do business with the county,
then you know our administration building is named after the late and great Wayne K. Curry. Curry made history when he became the county's first Black county executive in 1994. As a Cheverly native and Bladensburg High School graduate, Curry was instrumental to the economic development of Prince George's County, including developing the National Harbor.
Known as the homegrown hero, Mr. Curry's legacy and love for the county continues to live on.
We were happy as children and unaware of the history and tensions of Prince George's County, that it was even then a unique place and destined to be something special. So when I look back on it now and what happened in the ensuing years and watch what it has meant, not just to Maryland, but to this country, I mean, it's divine providence that intervened and made Prince George's County a historically significant place.
Well, county officials are working to transform an abandoned hospital site to senior living community. The old site, which was once home to the former Glendale Hospital site, has been vacant since its closure in 1981. The land is owned by the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, and they say they want to redevelop the site. After their contract with the previous developer ended, they're hoping to find a new owner to bring the vision to life. A space for seniors to have access to doctors' offices and assisted living.
Well, if you haven't been to the dentist in 1, 2, or even 3 years, you're not alone. According to research led by nonprofit United Way, 1 in 10 Maryland households has not had anyone seen by a dentist in more than 5 years. The research was done as part of the ALICE campaign, which stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. The National Institute for Health reports that 90% of adults ages 20 to 64 have had tooth decay, and a quarter of adults have untreated tooth decay. And the United and for Alice campaign plans to use this data to help advocate for solutions at a local level. All right, sports fans, you know what time it is.
That's right. Simon Bugs is back with our Wednesday sports page. What's going on, Simon?
Don't miss your Wednesday sports page, everyone, as newly hired Commanders offensive coordinator David Blau speaks out and a player from the Baltimore Orioles suffers a disappointing injury. Find out what happened after the break.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws alone cannot
this
stop a bullet.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Hey there, sports fans. It's time for your Wednesday sports page. Go ahead and grab a seat. Now, first, there was a bunch of high school hoops action last night. Beginning with the girls, Fairmont Heights blew out Crosland 50-24. Largo routed Frederick Douglass 77-40. And lastly, Flowers cruised to victory against Duval, winning 63-24. And on the boys' side, High Point survived a close game against Parkdale, winning 67-64. Central fell to CMIT South 70-32. And Largo beat Frederick Douglass 74-62. And sticking with basketball news, the Bowie State men's basketball squad will be in action tonight. The Bulldogs will take the court versus a conference opponent in Elizabeth City State University. Tip-off is at 7:30. Meantime, my Washington Commanders made some changes recently to their coaching staff, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Washington recently promoted former quarterbacks coach David Blau to be the team's new offensive coordinator after the departure of Cliff Kingsbury. Blau spoke yesterday and touched on working with the team staff to make sure this offense is the best it can possibly be.
As we go forward, our staff, our collective staff of 12 or 13 coaches, we get to kind of build it up from the studs around what Jaden and Terry and Laramie and all these guys do really well to, put them in the best position to be successful. And that's what's exciting with our staff, even pulling from all these different experiences, new coaches coming in who have, backed up Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and coaches who have been around Drew Brees and developed young quarterbacks, and being able to pull the collective so that we can all collaborate together and make this the best possible thing is what's really stimulating right now.
Man, I can't wait to see what Blau has in store for my team's offense next season, y'all. Now for some news from the Diamond, the Baltimore Orioles will be without second baseman Jackson Holliday for a while, as the 22-year-old suffered a broken bone in his right hand and will miss opening day. Holliday suffered the injury during batting practice last week and will undergo surgery tomorrow. Last season, the former #1 overall pick batted .242 with 17 homers and 55 RBIs in 149 games. And in NBA news, the Washington Wizards will face off against James Harden and the rest of the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And that wraps up your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, thanks, Simon. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, it'll be mostly clear out, but we'll have some wind gusts of up to 28 miles per hour. Tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 39. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 41 and a low of 29. And for Valentine's Day, Saturday, if you're heading out for a little romance, it'll be nice and sunny with a high of 50.
And for our community calendar, don't forget to show your fur babies some love. This Friday, Animal Control is hosting a Valentine Doggy Party. And bring your pup to the Bowie Dog Park to enjoy dog treats, a photo booth, and socialize with other dog lovers. This event is free, and it takes place from 3 to 5 p.m. For more information, contact 301-440-6615.
Have a story to tell? You can reach out to our CTV News tip line.
Just give us a call at 301-386-4085, or you can send an email to ctvnews@pgctv.org. As always, we look forward to hearing from you.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.
It's over,